Hey, what's up, guys? Today we are doing lesson 5.1, but we decided to make it a little more interactive and film it upside down. So either A, you can stand on your head and watch it, or B, get with the program. This is page 117 in the book, but we gave you a piece of manila paper in class today, and that's what we are going to expect you to use your notes.
What if they don't have manila paper?
Then you can get a piece of notebook paper, but we gave it to you, so you should have one. No exceptions. Get with the program. Miss Sorrells will not be happy if you don't have manila paper tomorrow. Just saying. Alright, so what I want you to do is take your piece of paper, manila and all, and get it out. And I'm going to fix the camera so that you can get ready for the notes.
Get off your head. Turn back upside down.
Or right side up.
Or right side up.
Make it fun. Alright, pause the video, get your manila paper out. Alright guys, so we're going to use this manila paper for the next 4 lessons, I believe. So what I want you to do is go ahead and fold it in half one way, and then crease it, and once you've done that, you can fold it in half again so you'll have 4 equal sections. So go ahead and do that, and once you've done that, I want you to go ahead and open it back up so you have all 4 sections open to you. Okay, pause the video and take care of that. Okay, so we're going to be using this top square today, and we'll just move on throughout them as the week goes on. But like I said, this is section 5.1, and this is adding integers with the same sign. Alright, so like we've done, let me zoom in a little bit for you guys. Like we've done over the last couple of videos, we're going to make a couple steps so that we can use those as a reference whenever we're solving these problems. So step number 1 is going to be add like you normally do with whole numbers. If you need to pause the video to write that down, go ahead and do so, please. And then step 2 is use the sign, whether that is positive or negative, that both of the integers have. And that's it. Those are the 2 steps that you're going to be using when we're adding integers with the same sign. So go ahead and pause the video and make sure that you have both of those ready. Alright, so I'm going to use these counting tile chips. We'll call them chips today. I'm not sure the technical term. But we're going to use these to show examples. And I know you guys don't have these, so I'll show you a way that we can draw them to kind of represent the same thing. And we will use these in class tomorrow when you come in to help you kind of get with the program and work out a few. So whenever we're using these, the red side's always going to be the negative side, because when you guys get older and you lose money, or whenever your parents lose money in their bank account, it shows up as red. So just think about red as bad because you don't want to lose your money. And yellow will be the positive ones. So just kind of go ahead and get that in your mind. So that red is always going to represent negative and yellow will represent positive. Okay, so let's look at this question right here. We're going to take negative 4 and add that to negative 3. So some of you guys might be able to look at that and just go ahead and solve for it, but this is how we're going to teach you in the video as well as tomorrow in class. So first we want to make a row of negative 4. Remember, we're going to use red to represent negative. And when we're doing this, we always want to make 2 separate rows or 3 separate rows, however many digits that we're using. Okay, so we've got negative 4 represented here. And then I'm going to put 3 more down to represent negative 3. And so what we would do next is, since we're adding, is we would count up how many we have. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And that is what step 1 says. Add like you normally do with your whole numbers. 4 plus 3. And we get 7. And we're going to use the sign that both integers have, which is negative. So the answer to this question would be negative 7. Alright, question number 2. We're going to have negative 6 plus negative 4. Now this one is going to be a little bit more beneficial for you guys at home tonight that don't have the counting chips. So what we'll do is we're going to draw 6 circles to represent our first number. And I'm going to put a negative sign in each one of those to represent that they are negative. And then what we'll do is we'll do the exact same thing in our second row with our second number, which is also negative 4. So I've got negative 6 and negative 4. We're adding again. So step 1 says add like you normally do with whole numbers. We have 10, and then we're going to use the sign that both integers have. So since both the integers have a negative sign in them, our answer would be negative 10. Okay, so that's one way you could do it at home. You can also use the counting tiles that we'll have in class, and we'll also probably show you a couple other ways. But for right now, those are the 2 I want you to see.
Except I'd probably get parents. Why are you yelling at my kid?
Alright guys, so Alright, so Ms. Soul just made a very good point to me. She said, why are you drawing these parentheses around the second number? Well, the reason that we're doing it is just to keep our stuff organized, to keep our numbers and our signs separate. So right here I've got negative 4, which doesn't have anything in front of it, so it stands by itself. But then if I didn't have the parentheses, it would look like plus minus 3. And that would maybe confuse a few of you. I know it would confuse Mr. Nelson. So we don't want to do that. So we're going to put parentheses around our second number, including the negative sign. So if that's a little bit confusing, just make a little mental note, or you can just watch my fingers make the parentheses over and over until it sinks in. It's just for organizational skills, guys, okay? Alright guys, so the next part we're going to do is we're going to make a number line, and why don't we just go ahead and draw a line separating these 2 problems. And then we're going to draw a number line right over here. And then we're going to put our numbers on here. Alright, so I've got my number line, and whenever we are using a number line to add our integers, whenever we are adding negative integers, it's going to go to the left because our negative numbers are on the left of 0, and whenever we are adding positive integers, we are going to the right because positive numbers are on the right of 0. And so I think once I show you how to work out numbers 1 and 2, that will make a little bit more sense. But that's just a little idea before we get started. Okay, so number 1, we started with negative 4. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put a dot above negative 4. Then I'm going to add negative 3 to it. So if I draw a straight line across, there's 1, 2, and 3. So I've added 3 to that, and I've ended at negative 7, which if we look back at number 1, we started at negative 4, added negative 3, and we ended at negative 7. So the number line is just another representation that you can see if you take the original number, our negative 4, and we add a negative 3 to it, we do get negative 7. So go ahead and pause the video and copy that one down if you didn't get it while I was talking. Okay, and then we're going to do the same thing for question number 2. So we first need to draw our number line. Remember, our positive numbers go on the right. And our negative numbers go on the left. And we're going to start with negative 6. So here is negative 6. I'm going to put a dot above it. And then we're going to add negative 4. So if we draw our line across, there's 1, 2, 3, and 4. So I've added a negative 4 to that. And just like over here, we have negative 10. And we stopped at negative 10. Okay? So these are your notes for adding integers with the same sign. Hope that this is pretty clear. Hope that we can look at it a little more tomorrow and apply some more skills. Make sure you answer the Google Docs, and we will see you manana. Have a good night.